Hi, everyone. I am Mary Kate Luke. I'm the marketing specialist here at Hasmark Publishing International, and I am joined today by my co-host, Jen Gibson. She is the Director of Publishing and Marketing here at Hasmark, and we are here today to introduce you to Renea Bartlett. She is a wonderful children's author. She has just written this beautiful book called Architective Dreams. She's going to chat with us today, tell us a little bit more about it and a bit about herself. So Renea, the title of the book, Architective Dreams, what does that mean to you? What does it mean to be the architect of your dreams?
First, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here today and talk about the book, which is my first one, my first children's picture book. Simply put, I think that the message is that we have the ability to create lives of significance and impact. Of course, what that means to you is going to be individually defined, but in general, that we can build anything we imagine. As you may know, I'm an educator, and I see firsthand every day how there seems to be this dichotomy between students who have a fixed mindset and they believe most strongly in their own limitations, whereas those who have a growth mindset believe powerfully in their own potential. And when they encounter obstacles, they see those as maybe temporary obstacles or opportunities for growth. If I may share a quick story, Mary Kate and Jen, I had my son come home from school and he was saying, I can't dance, I can't do art, I can't speak Spanish. And I asked myself, why is he saying that? How did he learn that? How did he internalize those messages? Because that's not what we believe as a family, nor is it what I teach him or my husband teaches him. So I decided to become quite intentional in communicating to my son messages about self-image, capacity, potential, and imagination. And so this book is an extension of those conversations that we were having.
Excellent. In this story, dreams are personified. Why do you think it's so important to foster the power of our dreams with children today?
As a parent, one of the things that I most worry about is the onslaught of information that our children have access to. And I think in that access that we all have, we've lost sight of the importance of sitting with ourselves, to tap into our own thoughts and beliefs, our own imagination. And so in Architective Dreams, the concept of the dream is that it's his, but it follows him into the daytime almost as if a friend would. And I find that even as adults, sometimes these days, we can't even define what it is that we do want. Instead, we talk about what other people have, what someone else is doing, what we think we're supposed to want. And dreams are powerful, in my opinion, because they come to us the night when our minds are still working to put things together, but without our conscious filters getting in the way. So in this story, the dream comes into the day because it represents that subconscious inspiration that just has to be expressed. It took me a very long time to be able to envision my own desires as distinct from what society tells me that I'm supposed to want as a woman, as a professional, as a mom. And as that parent and educator, and now as an author, I hope to instill the idea that we should look within to identify our deepest desires and design lives of significance and positive impact. So that's why this dream concept is so important in the story.
Absolutely. I think it's so important to start at a young age to do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the illustrations in this story, they're so incredible, so beautiful. How did you decide on how you wanted dreams to be represented with the imagery that's used?
That's a really good question because, first of all, with the first book, it's often a passion project, right? And I wanted to see the illustrations have depth and rich color. I was searching for an illustrator and was seeing that many people work now in digital media, but in my mind, I needed an illustrator who still worked in a traditional media. And so I was lucky to meet Gemma Lorente Shore on a social media platform by chance. And when we first started talking, I knew in that first conversation that she was the right person for the project because she just got it. She loved the concept and, spoke to her on a certain level. She also still works in traditional media, paper craft in this case. And I knew that she was going to be able to make that vision and message come to life. But it is complicated to visually represent an abstract concept. And I didn't know how to express the dream. I had written the story, but I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to see that dream represented, because it can be anything, right? So we ultimately decided to use prisms. It's just that the multifaceted edges and the refraction of light were appropriate to the message and became good tools for conveying the message through color. And I think she did an amazing job. I think the dream is very beautiful. The whole book is beautiful, in my opinion.
It is, for sure. What do you hope parents and children are able to take away from the story and its message?
That's a great question, Jen. The power of imagination, for one, possibility, and ultimately empowerment in using imagination as a tool. I hope that parents and educators can use the book to prompt conversations with children about mindset and imagination. One thing that I'll add is that the choices to not name the characters and not identify what the dream is are intentional choices. I'd love for adults to have conversations with children about why that is. I hope in doing so, when adults are reading my book and their children are able to answer in their own ideas and ask questions in open-ended ways, so that we as adults aren't telling them what it's about, but we're letting children discover for themselves what the message is. And that could be through simple questioning like, what do you think the dream could be? Why didn't the author say what the dream is? Why are the architect and friends not named? And children will begin to understand that in their own age and developmentally appropriate way.
Yeah, I think that that's so special and important, because it's not something that we see often in children's books. So it's a great way to kind of let them see themselves in the story too.
Thank you. And that was the really important part for me, to have a reader read that as an I statement versus the name of another character. So.
Absolutely. Now, what do you think was the most difficult part of the whole writing process for you, and how did you overcome it?
I could talk about that all day, because it's been a long journey. And the reason why is because the hardest part was deciding that I could be an author, changing my own mindset and limiting paradigms to recognize that I have a story to tell and a message to share. A few minutes ago, we talked about limiting mindset, and that was me for over 35 years. I've wanted to publish books for decades, but I had doubt that I could do it, or I doubted how they would be received by an audience, or I was uncomfortable thinking about having someone read it and create, judgments of their own. So in the past 2 years, I've really been working on my own mindset. And I was on a call with Bob Proctor, a personal development coach, and I was listening to him talk about the power of imagination to create lives of significance and impact. And Bob was talking about how we misunderstand goal setting, and that we actually set goals to grow into the person that we want to become, who is capable of achieving that goal. And that really resonated with me. And then almost himself, he said, it's so important that people understand this, and we really should be teaching it to children. And as a mom and as an educator, when he said that statement just slapped me in the face. And I told myself, I was like, get beyond yourself to just do it already. I mean, it's been ages, and I, have a child who could benefit from this. Peers that he has could benefit from. Kids that we teach could benefit from it. So I just decided to do it. And I was very fortunate to hear that message. It was about 18 months ago or so. And I started on the book project. As you may know, Bob passed away in February. This book is dedicated to my son, who inspired this message, but also to Bob for teaching me that I really am ready to do this work. And I needed to set a goal that would move me into being the person that was capable of publishing books and putting my ideas out there.
Excellent. When does Architective Dreams launch, and how can people get a hold of a copy?
Yes, so it launches June 21st, the first day of summer, and it will be on Amazon, and we are launching with a hardback book, and I will have links to that on all my social media, and I have my own website. It's myname.com, reneabartlett.com, and all the information will be there.
Amazing. You segued right into my next question, which was where to find you. So that's great. We will be able to find you on social media and your website, and the book will be on Amazon, like you mentioned. We are so excited for it to launch and to get it into people's hands. So thank you so much for chatting with us, Renee. We love this story, and we just know that it's going to resonate with a lot of people.
Thank you both for your support and for your time today. I enjoyed talking about it, and thank you for helping me get this message and story to more people.
You're welcome. Thank you.